You ready?
For what?
For a video.
Why?
I want you to say something to me.
Why do you want me to say a video? MGM wanted to pay me a lot of money and I didn't agree. And you want me to do this gratis?
I'm blood. For blood.
I'm not interested. Oh, come on, let's go. What have you got? You got a new camera?
Yeah, Abba got it for me.
What?
Just tell me that you love me.
Titchachi.
Tada.
What am I supposed to do?
Tell me that you love me.
I love you, Aviv. I love you.
I love
yes,
you too.
I do. I love you. If you break my heart, I'll break your jaw and then you'll die.
How scary.
Good?
we leave with this message.
I pass?
You pass.
Right?
That's Chad Gadia, no?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
More examples to make it easy for you. Find the pattern. You can take beets, but you can't take tomatoes. You can take apples, but you can't take pears. You can take
cherries.
You can take beetles, but you can't take ants. You can take sparrows, but you can't take pigeons.
You can take cherries.
Huh?
You can take cherries.
I
You can take cherries. You can take cherries, but you can't take grapes.
Can you take can you take critters but not birds?
You not what?
Critters but
Yes.
not birds.
You can't take birds.
No
You
birds.
can take critters.
Okay, you can take critters,
You
not
can
birds.
take critters, not birds.
I know this one.
Go on.
It's like
Oh,
bees.
wait a minute. So
You
one
can
more,
take mammals.
but not gnats.
That's with a
You can
G.
take gnats.
You can't take that.
But you can take mammals.
You can't take nuts.
Gnats.
Gnats.
No,
Gnats.
you can't take nuts. Gnats.
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 But can you take bees?
What?
You can take bees.
You can take
Yeah.
bees.
But not mosquitoes.
No.
Not mosquitoes.
Can you take giraffes?
You can take alligators, but not crocodiles.
Right.
You can take a giraffe,
Yeah.
But not
but
an
you can't
elephant.
take a bear.
A bear. You can't take a bear. You can take
Is this that Ellie game?
I can't think of things anymore.
It's because of the M crops. Your brain is
You
fried.
can take deer, but you can't take
Antelopes.
antelopes.
That's right.
You can take deer, but you can't take antelope.
You
Correct.
can take gazelles, but you can't take rams.
Correct.
Right. You can take gazelles, you can't take
You can
rams.
take sheep, but 100% no goats.
You can take sheep, you can't take goats.
Yeah, I think you got it.
You got it?
Yeah, he got it. I got it. He didn't get it yet.
You got it?
I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
What's the answer?
But if I
And
say
we
it out
want-
loud,
We want the y'all to get it.
He's still frowning.
you see how the face? You see how the
You can take limon.
Yeah.
You can take limon,
But you
but you
can't
can't take
take
it.
Not a beef. Not a y'all.
Aviv, how about taking a video of you? Huh?
Am I supposed to keep videoing?
Very
Stop
well,
it.
I'm not. I was conferring with my wife here.
Sounds so happy.
But
Though.
whatever we need to.
May not be new, but I like it. How about you? I believe in the power of prayer. If you tell me that prayer can cause earthquakes, I'll say anything is possible with prayer. Anything is possible. My question to you about prayer, I say my prayers. I say prayers every morning. I read the Shebahot on Friday night, and I read the Shebahot on Saturday night. With the special Shebahot. But in the mornings, I don't wear tefillin because I have to read too much, and I cannot read. I cannot read a lot. Although I have a magnifier, it can only hold for about, I don't know, maybe half a page or 1 page, and I've got to change and change and change, and either stand or sit. It's
It's a lot.
I want to say my prayers, but it's not easy. Not easy for me. I haven't asked the question yet. My question is, and this could be to both of you all, is there any, is it, I don't know how to put it, but let's put it another way. You know the rabbi over here, the Chabadnik, he can come at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to put on the tefillin for me, which gives me the impression that you can say your prayers anywhere from Shachrit just before Mincha. My point is, in the morning, I say my prayers as first thing in the morning. My first duty is my feeling that I want to disclose myself. So I say my prayers. The point is it imperative? Is it a law? Is it written anywhere? I don't know. That you have to say your prayers before you have your breakfast. Does it matter?
Typically,
Because I'm sorry, because let's take Shabbat. You go to synagogue on Shabbat, but you go to synagogue after you finish your breakfast, right? You have breakfast and then go to Shabbat synagogue?
no.
Some people.
Some people do.
Oh.
Some people do, but for the most part, let's say if you would, go based off of the ultra-Orthodox, they typically pray first and then eat.
I should try and do it.
I would not recommend that because I would not put off a meal that is necessary for you until prayer. I think that the time it takes to pray would be a little too long to wait until eating for that. I would eat first. In Calcutta, right?
I was born. I don't remember if I was born. I was born in Calcutta at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was a Shabbat. It was a Saturday.
Oh, wow.
I was born at home.
Wow. But all of your siblings were born in Calcutta?
You were all born in Calcutta.
Okay. But your parents were born in Baghdad.
My parents were born in Baghdad.
Okay.
In Basra.
Basra.
Not Baghdad, Basra.
Oh. I wonder what age, how old were they when they moved from Basra?
Oh, and why? That was my question.
I don't remember.
And why did they move?
And why? Why did they move?
They moved from Basra.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because there was beginning of the persecution in Iraq, persecution of the Jews. So there was a big exodus of the Jewish community from Iraq and Syria, and they went to India and to Shanghai. A lot of them went to Shanghai.
Yeah. But some went to Israel and some went to England, right? Some went to England and some went to Israel, right?
Well, the majority went to India and to Singapore, Shanghai. The majority.
So why did they choose
And in
India?
India, they went to either Calcutta or Bombay. Calcutta got more of the Jews, of the Iraqi Jews, than Bombay. It had a bigger Iraqi community than Bombay.
Really? I don't hear of many Calcutta Jews. I hear more Bombay. Like
I don't understand.
I meet more people that their families come from Bombay than Calcutta.
You don't know people.
I've met people more often from Bombay than from Calcutta.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I can't answer that.
Yeah.
You'll have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Thai or Singapore?
I don't know why. Flower's parents, Flower's father came from Singapore, not from Baghdad.
Oh, really?
He came from Singapore.
Oh.
His ancestors were from Baghdad, were from Iraq, but he was born in Singapore. Very, very clever man, very talented man. That's where Flower got her talent from. And Flower's daughter, Yael. Yael is a brilliant writer.
I had a story from you recorded on my phone, but I can't find it. Oh. Luckily, you wrote it down. You wrote down the story from when you were working in the airport.
When I was working,
In the airport. In the airport. When you were a DJ in the airport.
when I was a teacher,
DJ. Disc jockey. You did
Music.
Music
With the radio station.
with the radio station.
the radio station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have the story from when you met the guy from the Israeli Air Force, and then when you worked with the Flying Tigers, and I had it all recorded, but I can't find the recording. But you wrote it down.
Want me to give it to you now?
You know, you already wrote it. We have it. We have the written.
I have it written.
Yeah, you wrote it down.
You sent it to me. You shared the story that you started.
There are some details that are not in the written version that you told me. So I have to find the recording.
What were some details?
I don't remember. So there was something missing.
I depend on you. You find it.
Yeah.
I can't remember. You know, it's very difficult to remember a lie.
I think you wrote that you were shot once. You were shot once. But you were shot twice.
I thought I was shot once. When I was in the hospital, the guy said twice.
Yeah. Did you know that?
You told me that.
Okay. Yeah.
Twice.
Twice.
Justine, don't forget to give Aviv $30. And they still beat when I used to go under the security at the airport. They beat because there's metal over there. And then they used to come back and they used to ask me questions. So I had to tell them what the beep was all about.
So what is it?
The bullet.
Oh, the beef. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
It's still there. Still there.
In the hospital, in the emergency room, there can be a patient who comes in for a gunshot wound, for a bullet. Some people come in because they get shot
In your emergency room.
in our emergency room. and they can leave.
They delete it.
They can leave. They can go home.
What do you mean?
There are situations where a person who gets shot can go home.
Like without any
After
treatment?
treatment?
Well, just simple, cleaning,
Okay.
and that's
Go
it.
home?
And they can go home
With
What
the
do you mean they
bullet?
go home
with the bullet inside.
Oh,
with the bullet.
Yeah. If the bullet is whole and there's no infection,
okay.
they can go home.
Wow.
I think this is what happened here. There was no infection,
Exactly.
Anyway, it was once, I don't know if I told you the story, we were in East Hampton, living in East Hampton, and we used to go to a restaurant in Southampton. They used to have very good hot food, Indian food, hot food. Anyway, we were there one night, and the guy, and I said, something wrong, the food. This is like having jam. This is not food. This is not hot curry. So he said, okay, he came back and he gave me a killer, really killer. I didn't feel well. I walked outside to get some fresh air. I didn't feel very good. So I went to the hospital, took me to the hospital. And I remember sitting in I don't know where it was, I was sitting in the waiting room or whatever, and the doctor comes out with an X-ray picture, and he says, Mr. Joshua, do you know that you have a shot up your ass? How did it happen? I told him. I never knew. Oh,
By what's his name?
this was in 1946. There were no hospitals. The war in Burma was just over. There was nothing over there. There was a tent, which was supposed to be a hospital. They took me over there, and
The nurse. I remember the nurse.
what happened?
The nurse. You had a nurse.
Huh?
There was no way to numb the pain. There was no way to numb the pain.
No, so I remember the nurse. Oh, she was a beautiful, beautiful Burmese woman. Beautiful.
I remember that.
And I was still, I was conscious because there was, like you said, they couldn't numb anything. I remember she took off her scarf. She wrapped it around her hand. I told you the story. Oh, she bit right through.
You bit right through.
Huh?
You bit.
I bit right through.
Yeah.
She says, when I tell you to bite, you bite. That was when they started entering without numbing. Then she told me, bite. And I bit. I bit right through her handkerchief, right up to. And there was a scar over here for a long time. They were trying to pull the bullets out.
Yeah.
I don't know what was the outcome. And that's why I had to act close up, and then I developed malaria, and I had to leave north of Burma, a place called Michina, to come back to Calcutta. I had a beard, and I was getting paid over there in cash, not by check.
Yeah.
There was no such thing. I was getting cash, so I had cash, bags of cash with me. And nobody, people knew I had this cash, but they didn't touch me. I took a train. I took a train, I don't know how. I got to Calcutta. No, I forget where I got to. I got to Mandalay, and there was an Air Force Dakota that was flying troops to Calcutta. So I managed to get a flight. I was heavy with malaria, heavy with cat.
You were traveling with malaria
I was traveling with malaria.
on
I
the
landed
road.
in Calcutta at the airport and took a taxi to the house.
How old were you?
He was 46.
21. Nice young man. You'd have loved me then.
I love you now.
I come to the house. Ring the bell. No, it wasn't a bell. Who had bell? I said, no, my mother opened the door. She took one look at me. She almost fainted when she looked at me. Then I don't know what happened. Then after a couple of days, I forget how much time, I woke up, I found I had no beard, nothing. I was clean. And my mother told me I couldn't stand you with that filthy beard. So she had it shaved off. I said, Mommy, I had a package, all kinds of papers. What papers? She said, that was money. I took it all away from you. You don't need it. I don't know. A lot of money. The rest is history. That was 1946. Then 1947, I started making plans to leave for Palestine, to leave for Israel. I think in 1946, I had the radio program. I think so, I don't remember.
So, when all that was happening, what were you hearing from Europe?
From where?
From Europe.
New York?
Europe. Germany and Poland.
What was I hearing? I don't know, I don't remember. I know it was always bad news of some kind, but I don't remember. I know what motivated me to leave.